of your destruction. Let no joyful voice be heard. Let no man look up at the sky with hope. And let this day be cursed by we who ready to wake. The Krackin!
Release the Krackin!
Hey, look, it's the Krackin!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Krackin with Jax and Dex. I am your host, Jax. Here with me, Dex.
What up?
So we are going to be talking about the last 3 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, now dubbed Captain Falcon and the White Wolf.
Right, that got. So, as we said in the very beginning of this two-parter that we're doing, the first 3 episodes were extremely rocky. It's kind of hard to get through. Definitely one of those series is that you kind of needed to wait for all of the episodes to come out to enjoy it all at once.
I mean, there was obviously things that kept our interest enough.
Yeah, but how many times did we say we're not watching this again?
I mean,
more than enough.
Yeah, but
like,
at the same time, we're all like,
we're
doing a podcast.
Yeah,
so.
We also had to force ourselves. But that's just it. Like, and that's where I'm getting at. Like, the first 3 episodes definitely, they're interesting enough, like action wise, but everything that was going on, all the static that was going on in the background, definitely left most viewers, not just us, but most viewers, kind of iffy, I guess, on the series. But the last 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6, that definitely, to me, brought it back. Really brought it back.
Yeah, it definitely brought the hype back. The like things that I like about specifically the Captain America movies. The action, the fights that they had. I mean, like generally, that's what it was when it comes to the Captain America movies. It was a lot of choreographed action fight scenes. And a lot of like,
because generally
spy-centric type.
Because generally most people use guns these days, so
yeah.
They had to kind
for some reason, it's like
anytime anybody goes up against these guys, they're like, oh, we
got knives.
Yeah, we got knives.
He even made like what's his name? John Walker even makes a joke about it. He's like, why do all these guys have knives?
Yeah, what is with all the knives?
I don't. It's obvious, like they had to obviously give a reason for the kind of action or the fight pieces that they're having. I mean, obviously there were still guns in the movie, or in the show. Zemo kills that one dude with a gun. So
Zemo kills a lot of dudes with a gun.
Yeah,
like that third episode was basically just a whole last 15 minutes of just Zemo doing awesome Zemo stuff,
going beast mode.
But I did kind of like how the fourth one slowed down a lot and really kind of started pacing the story out and drawing it to where it was like, okay, this is the actual thing that's going on.
I can't remember. Was it episode 4 or episode 5 that it begins with flashback where they're reciting all of the words that
when he's like breaking the. I can't remember. I think it's like 3 or 4. It's like
it was 4 or 5 is what it was. I can't because we were watching them and I can't remember if it was 4 or 5.
Yeah,
but it definitely like the emotional drama of like what the characters are going through. Because they're both going through their own little
they're both fighting
character
their own,
development issues.
Oh, they're both fighting their own demons inside.
Yeah, but like when it shows Bucky and what's her name, the Wakanda and Dura Milaje woman, I can't remember
her name either.
Where she's reciting the trigger words for him. Like you see the emotion. Like at first he's like it's not gonna work. He's like that's the look that he's given off. Mm-hmm. But then when he realizes, hey, it's fucking working. You start like seeing him break down and tearing up and shit. Like it definitely brought the emotion up quite a bit. And then like later on, they bring up the emotion a little bit more with Sam and what's his name?
Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley, yeah.
See, and that's where I meant by like it really brought it back, because when you're first introduced to that character, it does give off that really bitter old man kind of.
Yeah, he's definitely the bitter old man,
Well, without really any kind of explanation on
yeah,
why.
they definitely explain it a lot.
Yeah,
more.
when that 5th episode, when him and Sam are having that sit down in the front room, that was definitely a moment where I was like, okay, I really actually dig this show now. Like if
Yeah.
I had watched it all the way through, like if I binged it, probably would have not been so hard on it
Right.
in the beginning. Like, I mean, you heard me. Like I was really not into this
Well,
show
there's just
whatsoever.
these points. There's these parts in which it just seemed
It-
so
so-
in your face, and
Somebody once said it goes from being like it's the best way to put it. Man, I'm trying to just think about it. It's like from being like actively just something that's going on, like something organic, going from being organic to being preachy. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
well, I mean, like
that's
the
what it
beginning
was.
of it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a bit
it was
preachy.
super preachy.
Yeah.
And then, like when they brought it back with this Isaiah Bradley episode and Sam, it was more organic, and I was like, okay, I can actually get into this character, and I can actually have some kind of emotional
Well,
attachment.
they were
to him.
actually presenting something that was real rather than fabricating something that was not real. Like, like this whole concept of, they show him being, they're arguing in the street in the second episode, and then all of a sudden cops just, it was unrealistic. It didn't feel realistic. And because it didn't feel realistic, it threw me out of it, and it threw a lot of people out of it too, because they weren't. It's not so accepting when it doesn't feel organic, when it doesn't feel like something that's real, and it's something that is just kind of in the writer's head.
Yeah.
Like this is what the writer this is the way the writer sees it, and if he wants to project, that's his problem. Okay, but keep your preachy, racist beliefs out of the writings.
Yeah.
Because that's really what it comes down to, is like, it was the writer who put that in there, and because he has this racial issue, he projected it in the writings, and then it popped right
Projected,
out.
yeah, obviously came out in the
And
show.
it came out, and
And
it came out forcefully, and it came out in such a way that a lot of people noticed it.
Yeah.
But
But like, I mean, so that's just the thing. I don't know if was it one writer.
I don't know,
on
like
every episode, because
I
it
imagine
seemed like
the way I understand it is everybody gets together in a board. This is the way I heard it being explained to me, and I think it was Mark from Batman Beyond, Mark Bernardin, I believe his name was. He was talking about the writers' room in what is it, Newcastle?
Man in the
No.
High Castle or something like that.
Castle Rock, sorry.
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock, for the show Castle Rock, because he was a writer for the show Castle Rock. And he was talking about how when they started off, when they're trying to figure out the plot of the first season or whatever, when they're trying to figure out the plot of the season itself, they all get together in like a boardroom, they talk about it.
Yeah.
And then once they figure out the general outline, each writer would get one episode. So
Yeah, 'cause-
each writer wrote,
And that's what it
each
seemed
episode.
like. It seemed like the writer definitely changed between the first 3 episodes and the last 3 episodes, because
well, they could all be, every episode could be a different.
could have been
writer.
a different writer. No,
Yeah.
I get that. But what I'm just saying is, like, you could definitely tell that something happened, because it went from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
Like it went from, everybody in the best case, or the best way to put it is like everybody was basically shield bashing the crap out of Captain America throughout the first half of this show.
Yeah.
And then at the end, episode 6 comes around, you see Falcon in his awesome awesome Captain America outfit. I not gonna lie,
It
that
lo-
was
yeah,
probably
he
that
was
was
good in
so sick looking.
Yeah,
Full plumage.
yeah,
Uh,
and it's. I don't want to like downplay Steve Rogers or Chris Evans for his his magnificent performance of Steve Rogers and Captain America, but like them showing him because he not only does he know how to wield the shield,
Mhm.
rhyme intended, but he can fly too, like Falcon. He can do
Yeah.
all those things. So like them showing him using the shield and flying and like combining them, it almost like presents the idea that he could be even better than
Well, yeah.
Steve Rogers in
Honestly,
certain situations.
honestly, and I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to dog the character or anything like that, but in my opinion, yeah, he like is actually the better Captain America in a way because it shows that a normal person can be this. Like if you look at Steve Rogers,
I mean,
the super soldier serum.
John Walker kind of
Yeah,
did the same
John Walker
thing.
did the same thing. Like he tried,
Yeah.
but like again, he ended up thinking that I needed to have the serum to become Captain America. Like that's the key to being Captain America. The way that they portrayed it in that last episode, it was like, no, you don't. You just have to be.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not it wasn't the strength of Captain America. What they were trying to convey wasn't the strength of Captain America that made Captain America.
it was
what he stood for.
Yeah, it wasn't his physical strength. It was his like mental aptitude.
Yeah.
Towards
And I
it.
actually like that because that's definitely the message of the series.
Yeah, that's definitely the message of Captain America.
Yeah.
So
when it comes down to not just Steve Rogers but Sam, like in the decisions that they make throughout, who being quote unquote Captain America, it was them standing. It's like a quote I once heard. Steve Rogers is basically he will do what is right regardless of what he is told, whereas somebody like John Walker, he will do what he's told regardless of what is right. And that's the difference. That's the difference between, a moral person and an immoral person. Somebody who will stand for what is right regardless of what happens, regardless of who tells them what. Regardless of the circumstances. Like if it winds up, causing his death, he'll still do what is right. That's what made Captain America Captain America.
yeah,
And that's generally what they were trying to convey in the series with Sam, is that even a black man can do what is right.
yeah.
You know,
Like it doesn't like. I think the best way to put what you just said is it doesn't matter that the color of your skin, person is more or less judged on what they do.
yeah, the content of his character.
Yeah.
That like just like Martin Luther King is like that's what it really came down to is, it has nothing to do with what you look like on the outside. It's what are you willing to do for your fellow man? What are you willing to do as a person, regardless of what everything else is telling you?
Yeah.
Like that's the difference between um uh Sam and Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley, he was bitter and whatnot because of all the things that happened to him. But the idea is that regardless of what happens to you, you still stand for what is right.
Yeah.
You know.
I honestly think that last episode, especially the last two episodes, really conveyed that message.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
And like I said,
And
that's really the reason why I brought it back to that.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually do want to point out, like although the show very much like tries very hard to make you hate John Walker, the
yeah,
replacement.
they really do turn his like character's douche way up, like to 11.
They do both. It's like it's weird because when he's with his in the back when he's with his wife and he's talking with his wife, you kind of get this sense that she sees who he really is, or like the good person that she knows or thinks that he can be.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And throughout the show, it has this back and forth tug of war with, is he a good person or is he a complete douchebag who will,
Yeah, is he like a tool for the government?
yeah, is he a tool for the government?
Yeah, is he Captain America or is he U.S.
Yes,
agent?
U.S. agent, yeah. Well, we find out at the end of it, he's basically U.S. agent.
Yeah.
But there is this like kind of redemption moment where you realize, like he's like he does want to do good.
Yeah, I think his character, and this is just his character, and obviously not the actor. His character's real problem is that he wants to be Captain America so bad that he's willing to actually just do whatever it takes. And
Yeah.
the problem with that is that it's kind of like flip flop to become
Yeah,
Captain America. You got to do you got to do
It's not to
do
whatever
whatever it takes. Yeah, it's to do whatever is right.
Yeah, to do whatever's right. Exactly. To do whatever it takes, but to do whatever it takes in the right way is kind of because, like, generally Steve Rogers, Captain America, would do whatever it takes,
Yeah,
but
he would also
look at it and ask himself, "Is this the best way?
is
You
this
know,
is this right?
Is this right? Yeah, there's always this moral compass when it comes to the Captain America character. And I think that's what generally encompasses the Captain America character. And I know like certain people on like the internet are like, no, Steve Rogers, Captain America. Anybody else?
Yeah, that's what you call a purist or an elitist.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like certain characters are modeled to be able to have multiple people play them. Captain America just happens to fall under one of those things. It shouldn't be an insult to anybody. If anything, that's exactly what Captain America does. He embodies the American people, which we all know comes in every shape, color, and size.
I think the real tragedy, though, is that Falcon's a good enough character to begin with.
Yeah,
for him to
and if you
like
want
to think that he has to be Captain America to legitimize his character in any way, shape, or form. I'm sorry, but first off, the actor I can't remember. Anthony Mackie, I believe, is his
He's a
name.
great actor.
Yeah,
great actor.
Fantastic actor. The guy is doing
that's
regardless of like writing or how they take the character, that's not him. Like he's just the the actor generally. So as far as I'm concerned,
but that's if you want to look at it that way.
He's doing a great job.
That's if, but that's if you want to look at that way. Like if you want to look at it that they needed for some reason they needed to legitimize Falcon's character by turning him into a Captain America. That's more or less Marvel's problem.
Well, but what I'm saying is we didn't get a Falcon movie.
No, and we should get a Falcon movie.
Yeah. But if we do, is it going to be Sam or is it going to be the new Falcon? They do tease in this show.
How sick would that be if it was both Captain America and new Falcon?
Yeah, I'd be down.
Right?
I'd be down.
A double Falcon movie?
Yeah, but it's a Falcon movie. It's not Captain America.
Call it Falcon. Call it Falcon featuring Captain America.
Falcon and Captain America.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like.
But I'm just saying he didn't get it. His movie.
He probably should have gotten a
solo. His solo movie is going to be Captain America 4. They're not going to call it They're not going to call it Falcon.
Falcon, yeah.
They're going to call it Captain America 4. So I don't know. I guess like Falcon.
That is kind of.
Hold on. I guess Falcon doesn't exactly have as much of a ring as Captain America. So that might have something to do with it.
I also feel like it's kind of like just a double-edged sword on that. Like, depending on how you want to look at it and how you want to split the hairs is how.
All right, he's a badass character. Like, if anything,
if
anybody made that character more interesting to me,
was Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, like the portrayal.
He's kind of hit that Hugh Jackman sort of thing, where it's like when you see the Falcon. You're like, I envision Anthony Mackie. I don't really envision anybody else.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
You're like, oh, Wolverine. Like they have like 10 different people lined up to play Wolverine.
A lot of them have essentially established that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to the point. Now, like I mean, Rhodey,
Rhodey's changed twice or changed once already.
changed
Yeah.
once. He's changed once, but when I think of Rhodey now, I think of
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle. Yeah.
That's because he was.
I also think of Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. Let's not jump too far off track.
But that's
Speaking of-
But when I think of him, that's immediately
Yeah.
the image that pops in my head.
Speaking of Captain America 4, they did just announce that is the next Captain America movie that will be coming out, and it will be featuring Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie.
It'll be starring Anthony Mackie as Sam. What is his last name?
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think.
I don't
of
know.
it
Yeah,
off
I
the
don't
top
know
of my
why
head.
that didn't come to you.
Yeah. It's one of those times, you have like a brain fart, like it's
Good old
there
Good old brain.
around the
fart.
tip of your tongue, but whatever. Anyways,
Now did they have that?
first off, I give sorry to interrupt you. I'm gonna say I give the series, the complete series.
Oh yeah.
6.5 tentacles.
Yeah, I was gonna say I give it like a 6 out of 10 tentacles.
6 out of 10 tentacles.
Only because again that those first 3 episodes were just super rocky.
Yeah.
The 3rd episode wasn't as rocky as those first 2, but definitely didn't really like play to the
Yeah.
helping out hand.
It
I
didn't
guess.
help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't help.
Like the issues.
Like it was cool seeing Baron Zemo and all that, seeing him in his actual suit, but it was just like
There's a lot of things that are good about this show. And am I in any way, because I gave it only a 6.5 instead of like a 7 or an 8 or whatever? Am I saying that nobody should go out and watch this? No, I think if
Actually,
you want entertainment, you're going to be entertained with
Yeah,
this show.
I was gonna say actually, honestly, since it's already fully out, I would say go watch it now if you haven't seen it. Simply because again, it's one of those like you can.
If you're listening to the podcast and you haven't watched it,
Sorry,
I don't. Yeah.
But
Like sorry for all the spoilers.
Sorry for
that
every
we
spoiler we just nailed on you. But at the same time, again, like you could easily go watch it all the way through and really push past those rocky points faster than we could. Because again, it was like we were watching it as it was coming out. So we'd watch one episode and then we'd have a whole week to pull that entire episode apart about what was wrong with it and why.
We just talk about that shit like all week.
Yeah, and that doesn't
help.
Yeah, it doesn't help at all. Like it doesn't help you trying to make it through a series or even trying to like anything about a series because it's like, oh, I left on an episode that I didn't like or there was a bunch of stuff about it I didn't like. So it doesn't make me want to go back onto Disney Plus and punch in the code again.
Yeah, and it definitely does not make me have any desires of renewing my subscription to Disney Plus.
I steal mine from my sister, so
And I just watch, go over to his house and watch it. So like, yeah. Loopholes.
Loopholes. Good old loopholes.
But whatever, Disney definitely has a lot to do to regain my
It's not just yours, man. Disney has a lot to do to regain the popular, like the general populace, is respect back. There's a lot of things that they're doing. Marvel is suffering from it. It's very blatant to see, especially in like WandaVision. WandaVision, I give that a 1 out of 10 tentacles, only because that last
Really?
episode. Yeah, only because that last episode.
See, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't give it just a 1. That show is a lot better than just a 1. I'd par it around the same. I'd give it a 6.
No,
I'd give it a 6.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was. Don't get me wrong. It had a lot of like funny points.
There
in
was
it.
less agenda pushing in that show. I mean, think about it. Like it didn't have any of the
all like damn near all female cast.
well that really wasn't agenda put, and it's not in your face either. It's just coincidental.
Everything's coincidental to Disney. So is all the stuff that's in the background of their movies. It's just coincidental.
Yeah. I mean, like the back or the
just the
backs of
background,
like yeah,
just the background stuff that happens in children Disney
Disney's-
movies that happens to be coincidental.
coincidental. Yeah,
Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for
yeah.
our
That's
review
pretty
on
much
that.
the cast. Just know this from here on out, we're gonna be referring to our reviews as Krackin reviews. So even though we called this just Krackin at the beginning of this, we will now be calling them Krackin. Shut up. We're gonna be calling it Krackin reviews. Okay.
And special thanks to everybody who's been out there listening to us and all that. Definitely helping us keep this alive.
Yeah.
And
Giving us inspiration to keep putting them out. And we'll be keep putting them out. And if you're gonna,
we're gonna keep putting them out regardless.
yeah, whether you're listening to them or not.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
We bought the equipment. It's happening.
Yeah. And I enjoy doing this a lot. So,
hope everyone stays safe out there.
Yep.
Have a good night or day or whenever it is you're listening to this.
Yep. Peace out.